Hello everyone, welcome to ETL tutorials. So in this video we are going to create an Informatica Power Center mapping which will read data from my local SQL Server instance and load it into a flat file. So this mapping is for the beginner who is just starting to learn Informatica Power Center, and we are going to be using a filter transformation in this mapping to read only the records which have a particular given condition is met. So I'm going to be using the AdventureWorks 2017 database, which is available on GitHub. You can download this database and take a backup of that and restore that in your local SQL Server instance. In this database, there is a product table which has several thousand records. As you can see, there is a color column. So if you do a select star on this table, you can see all of these records. And the color column, there are several type of values, like there is a null value, black color, silver color. So we will run a select distinct query and see how many different types of colors are available in this table. So as you can see, there is a black, blue, multicolor, red color. Okay, so this is our source. Production is the schema and product is your table. So let's go to Informatica and create a mapping for that. To create a mapping, first of all, we need to import that table as a source. So we'll go to source and we will create a connection for our SQL Server instance. So for that, we will select SQL Server. Data source name, you can give any name. And we need to provide server and database name. So this is my local instance database name and server name. We'll provide this detail. We'll connect to the local instance. Okay, so there is an error that we cannot have special character. So we will change that name. So once again, test the connection and okay. Now we will select this connection and provide the username and password for connecting to the SQL Server. Once you connect to the SQL Server, you will see all the different schemas. So we will go to production schema and table, we are using product table. So you select the product table and you import that in your Informatica designer. Next up, we need a target. So there are several ways to create a target. You can either create the target as a flat file, or you can also drag and drop the source in the target designer and just change the property of database type to a flat file. So it will create a target with the same structure as your source. Now you have your source and target. Let's create the mapping. So go to mappings, create. You can give a suitable name for the mapping. Now we drag the source. You will add a filter transformation to this mapping. So go to transformation, create, and then filter transformation. You can give any appropriate name for the transformation. You will add all the ports from source qualifier to filter transformation, and then you will drag your target to the mapping, and we will connect all the ports from our filter to target. Now open the filter transformation, go to properties, and in the filter condition, here we can give the condition. So whatever condition you give here, once that condition is met, only those record will be passed. So our condition is color is equal to black. Let's save the mapping, and that's it. Now from the mapping designer itself, you can create the target. Now this is the target folder. You can go to Informatica and then server. Inside server you have info shared, where all the folders are created, like source folder, lookup, and target. So the flat file will be created in our target files folder. So currently there is just one file which was from my previous mapping. Now let's go back to the mapping, and from here we can generate the workflow. So you create next, you need to provide the connection for your source. So I have created this connection to connect to the SQL server. So this connection is created from workflow manager. You go to connections, and I will show the properties which was used to create this connection. You can give any name, and then you have to provide the database name and server name, and the same username and password to connect to the SQL server. Once this connection is created, you can generate your workflow from the mapping designer. Just click next. You can give the appropriate target name, next, and finish. So once you create the workflow in this manner, you have to disconnect from your folder and then reconnect again, and then the new workflow will be reflected here. So let's open the workflow, go to session. In the mapping tab, in the source, you can see the connection and also the target, which is a flat file. So in this case, you have a flat file directory and then the name of the target file. So you'll just change the extension of the target file to .txt and then click OK. So this option is to insert the output fields in your output file. Now let's run this mapping. Okay, so currently there is just one file. Once you execute this workflow, let's go to the monitor and see the progress. So as you can see, the workflow is completed successfully and 93 records are inserted into the flat file. So our filter is working. Let's open the target file, and you can see in the color column you only have the value black. Let's validate if the numbers are matching from source. So go to source, you run this query, and there are 93 records in the source. So that means our mapping is reading all the records from your SQL server and only loading the records which are matching your filter criteria. Alright guys, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.